it seems like what therapy is, like regular therapy, is like, here are your issues. Let's like figure out how to cope with them almost.
Right.
You know?
Right.
We're going?
Live.
What's up, Pack? Steve Del Savio from the Ask the Pack Leader Show. We are here with Adam, Jamie. I did it reverse today.
I was going to say.
Great.
I'm
and our guest first.
I'm second.
Huh?
Actually, that wouldn't be the first
Second.
time. I'm
Yeah,
second.
yeah. And first time having a guest in studio?
Yes, in studio guest.
Yeah,
first
Leah
time.
Crescenzo.
Yeah.
Hypnotherapist and was it RTT practitioner?
Yep.
Super cool.
Rapid Transformational Therapy.
Rapid Transformational Therapy. So we should talk about how we met for sure. Tell me, by the way, new mics, everybody. We talk about this shit on the show. We just go on about this. Yeah, we're very like transparent. Brand new mics, which I'm really, but they're no longer the lab. So this is going to be a new thing for us trying to figure out like how to keep this going. So just tell me if I'm too far. Or
Yes, I'll let you know.
So we met. How many years ago is this now?
It was about
2 years ago?
Yeah.
At the Chart House in Weehawken. So I got invited by my friend Todd, who's a real estate guy, and you know Todd Maloof?
No, I don't.
Okay, yeah, he's in that thing. So he was in the, what is that thing called? That group?
BNI.
BNI.
They meet every week.
Yeah, what is it called? Business networking, something,
yeah,
whatever
I don't know.
it is. It's like a business networking group where you go there and like. You know, Leah was there as a hypnotherapist. I'm there as the dog trainer. Todd's there as the real estate guy. So people network and connect and all that stuff and share business and everything. So I don't even know. I was just sitting there. I think, did Cassie come with me to that
Cassie
thing?
was there.
Yeah.
I think you only went to one.
Yeah.
I only went to
right?
one.
Me
One
too.
and done.
Yeah.
So I got all I needed.
Yeah, because
I know, me too.
I think it was really early in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like
Probably why.
7
That's probably
a.m.
why. Yeah, 7
Yeah.
a.m. I was like, nah, I need to be with the dogs at that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, we met there, and I was telling you about what I did, and then you were telling me, and I was like super fascinated with what Leah was doing with hypnotherapy. It was something that in all the things that I looked up, I was like, oh, that's something that really makes a lot of sense to me, because it's just a different thing than, like, people have gone to therapy for decades, right? Forever. Yeah. But hypnotherapy is one that was like fascinating to me because it was like tapping into the unconscious mind, whereas what we were saying before the show is, and I'm not like knocking therapists and stuff, but from a lot of what I've heard from people, it's like, yeah, I've been in therapy for X amount of years, this amount of time. And I'm like, and how's it going? They're like, yeah, it's going.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it's actually like getting to the core of the problem. And it's almost like a thing for me, like when we talk about like the vet behaviorists, not all,
but most.
yeah. But where a lot of this stuff is like they're medicating, they're just managing the problems that are there, as opposed to like digging to the core problem and dealing with it there. So to me, that's what the hypnotherapy is doing. So why don't we talk about how you got involved in hypnotherapy?
Yeah. Honestly,
Like, how does that happen?
I know, really.
Interesting
It's
to me.
totally such a strange thing. Well, so 20 years ago, I studied yoga therapy, and holistic nutrition. So, like, I had this, like, inkling of, like, something natural, like, I want to learn, and also, I think, like, even therapists, like, they go into therapy because they need therapy themselves.
Yeah.
So there was something I was seeking inside.
Yeah.
And so I'd done that for, like, 5 or 6 years or so, and then I had this, like, inkling, like, something, honestly, in my mind was, like, hypnotherapy. And my dad's friend was
So you were in regular therapy?
I wasn't in regular
okay,
therapy.
okay.
No, I just had studied like all these other modalities, like the natural modalities,
Got
and
it.
and so my dad's friend, his best friend was a hypnotherapist, and I remember asking him like, "Do you need to like be a psychologist to be a hypnotherapist?" And my father's like, "Yes." So he like dismissed me, and I was like, "Shit!" Like, oh, like all
Had
right.
you done hypnotherapy yourself
Never.
at that point?
It was really just like something in my brain. This was like 2004, 2014, 13, 14. So something in my brain was telling me like hypnotherapy. So a year.
Have you had heard of it before this, obviously? Like before
I just had known that my dad's friend was a hypnotherapist. That's it. That's all I knew about it, or how it worked, or anything.
Yeah.
And then a year later, I just had this idea, like Google. I was living in New Jersey, like right outside Hoboken, and I was like, Google like hypnotherapy training, and the one started tomorrow in the city. It was like the next day the training starts in the city. So I'm like,
meant to be.
So meant to be.
Yeah.
So I had left a message for them. I went to a yoga class on my way home. They called me to say, like, come, you're going to miss the first hour, but come join the class. So, like, I went that day, and the rest is history. So, like, I got trained in hypnotherapy, and that was, like, a few weeks of a course. Yeah. And then a year or two later, I went to train for RTT, which is Rapid Transformational Therapy, which from there on, I was like, it was just everything was in line. Because Rapid Transformational Therapy is just like hypnotherapy with like it's packaged of like the best hypnotherapy tools to help. It's like a 2-hour session.
And you were saying who created that is it Marissa?
Yeah, Marissa Peer.
Yeah. I saw her. I've watched some of her stuff, and it's fascinating. It's hard to get over the British accent, but it's but it's so fascinating the stuff she's saying, and I really believe in it about like tapping into the unconscious mind and stuff. I think it's fascinating for sure.
Yeah, for me, ever since I'm working with hypnotherapy for myself, so I was hypnotized in my first class for hypnosis. I volunteered to, like, this was my first experience with hypnosis at all, but meanwhile I'm like training in it to work with people, but I'm like, I want to experience it.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was really cool because at the time I'm like, my issue was like, do I go back to the corporate career and have like the structure, the 9 to 5, the 401k, the benefits? Do I do this or do I build my own business? And I honestly thought in my mind the way to go is back to corporate. Like that was like the clear answer. That's the okay answer to do. Right. And in my mind through the hypnosis, it came to me that like you have to build your own business. Like the sky is the limit. Like this is the direction to go. And I was
passion.
Like, it totally changed like my beliefs about like what I was capable of, and also like the direction that I should go in. So. And
then how did that feel when you finally made the decision? Was there some fear there?
No, once I finally made it, because I was like affirmed. I was affirmed in, like, it felt so, and that's the thing. It's like a subtle, like with hypnosis, like when you uncover something, it's like a subtle knowing of like, this is truth to me. So
for you guys who don't know, this is who we were talking about, how I offered to the team to have hypnotherapy, and Leah was one who did it. So I did it with you. I did the first hypnotherapy with you, like a year ago or something?
A year and a half. It was like not far after when we met.
Yes, yeah. I did a year and a half ago. I always have to test the waters on everything, and I really enjoyed it. It was like...
So we always say you're our guinea pig.
Yeah, I know. Thanks a lot. No, but it was
you
really...
volunteer.
Yeah, it's true. But that's a big part too. Is like getting out of comfort zone. To me, is another one. I'm always talking to everybody about building confidence, and getting out of comfort zone is obviously a big one for me. So like the idea where I'm hearing hypnotherapy, and I'm sure a lot of people are like like I see on stage, or I'm going to be like crawling around the stage and like barking like a dog or something like that.
Yeah, I thought that too at first.
Yeah, did you do it in your therapy session? No.
Yeah, actually, Leah had me barking like a dog.
She was picking her eyelashes out, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no.
Yeah, so that's like one where but I'm sure a lot of people are thinking hypnotherapy, and that's probably where a lot of people's minds go to, is like what they've seen as like I don't know, you call it like a gimmick or like a magic thing or whatever. It's like kind of like a stage act.
Stage hypnosis. Like it's entertainment.
And we were saying before the show, so what's the difference between that hypnosis and hypnotherapy?
Well, so that hypnosis is entertainment. So it's like using people that are suggestible to show the power of the mind and the power of suggestion.
Right.
So hypnotherapy is more, we're going back to like, what's causing you this issue? So people come with all kinds of different, like, whatever's not working in your life. So if there's something that's holding you back in your life and it just doesn't feel right, like you feel like you're up against resistance, like anything can be worked through hypnotherapy. And so people come with whatever that is holding them back. And we go back to like, where's the root of it? Like, where's the root cause of this? So it's more like conversational. We're getting to the bottom of something, and then we're reframing it. And like the reframe is like a big part of it. But also like having a voice. So like you can go back to a situation where you were, you didn't have as much like advocacy for yourself, and give yourself that child self. It's a lot of inner child work. It's like, give that child like a voice. Like, you're safe. You can say like, no, I don't want this. This is, not my reality, blah, 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 whatever it is.
Are people supposed to talk about it afterwards?
So there's two schools of thought about that. Honestly, like I've had people that are like, just leave it because it's all in the subconscious, which is true. Yeah. Like the whole experience is already logged into the subconscious mind. Right. So like they don't have to go home and journal or talk about it.
Right.
But then some people want to like just explore more. So it's really like individual.
You don't need to. Because when you said that part, like, I don't know if you remember, but the first one for me was me being picked on, and then me finally having a voice for myself in that scenario, which is like super powerful for sure.
Yeah.
And when you said about like the resistance part, that makes a lot of sense, because I feel like what do you call it? I guess you call it being under, or
in a trance.
In a trance, yeah. When you're in a trance, like.
Yeah, being like, under, it makes it sound like you're
like
having
you're under,
surgery or
like
something.
you're under the influence or something. Yeah, exactly, like anesthesia. Yeah. No, but it felt like almost like, all right, well, what are you going to ask me? What am I going to say? And then all of a sudden, like, just like, like it just starts coming out. Like, and it's like, it's hard to explain it, but it feels almost like you're saying, all right, where are you going with this right now? And all of a sudden, it's like, wow, I'm right there.
Right.
And this is happening right now, where you think like, oh, I don't know if you got the same, or Adam, you did it too, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys had the same experience of like, when you're saying, so where are you? Like, you're almost like, what am I supposed to be? And
You
then all of a sudden
almost
it's like,
start
blah.
thinking about it. You're like, what
Like,
should
what
I be
would I
thinking?
be
What-
thinking?
and then you just say it.
And then it almost feels like that's the moment, like the unconscious like taps in and is like, all right, this needs to come out right now.
Yeah.
In that moment, which is so interesting to me. And is it technically like a state of theta? Like it is like we're waking up? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And so in that state, like your mind, your subconscious, your unconscious mind remembers every face you ever saw in the crowd.
Yeah.
So like if you're prompting your subconscious mind to give you feedback to where like your anxiety began, like your subconscious mind knows. So you're just giving it an opportunity to like express itself. So I think people have the most, difficulty with it is when they're trying to think too much, and they're drawing themselves out of theta,
Right.
like into the beta, like the waking state, to be like, oh
Right.
wait, what am I supposed to
Right.
say? And that's how therapy is. Like
Yeah.
therapy is that state where like you're consciously talking about all this.
Yes.
So
That's
then
right.
like you're only getting to that level where the
Which is a
unconscious
small
has
percentage
all
of the whole thing, right?
5%.
5% out of the whole brain
Yeah.
is consciousness.
Yeah.
And 95
That's
of
so
conscious.
crazy.
Yeah.
And that's funny because people think like, no, I have control over all these things. It's like
Yeah.
you're running on 5% of your brain. What do you think the other 95 is saying about that? That's what's really running people's lives. Right?
Absolutely.
And they talk about that with programming too. If you want to listen, like with the recordings and all that stuff, is so. Do you recommend that like the recordings that you do to do them in the morning or at night, or does it really matter when you do it?
So either way is better. I personally think that at night is best because like
Before bed.
in the morning, before bed. So like think about like collective consciousness is getting so quiet. Like the veil is getting thin at night. So like any time between those evening hours is the best time to like connect in. Your mind is like settling, so your subconscious is stepping forward.
Yeah.
But also I have people that do them in the morning because they
Clear
fall
their head.
they might fall asleep at night, or as long as in the morning you're not like, oh, I've got to get up and like I'm going to rush this. I'm
Yeah,
just going to
yeah,
get this in
Just
and
get it
like
done.
listen and move on.
And then it's not as effective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love doing mine at night. Like
Yeah.
getting in bed and like
Yeah.
preparing for it and then listening.
Yeah,
Even
same
hearing
here.
your voice now, I feel
Yeah,
like your
yeah.
voice sometimes like triggers like because if she was
Jamie
in,
just in the middle of the night.
That's why I started doing it.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
That's
funny.
So
falling
interesting.
asleep. No, but
Yeah.
it's true because your voice, I feel like for me, it's embedded in my mind that because the recording is you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Listening to something is so powerful before bed. Like I listen to something every night, whether it be like a recording
Yeah,
or
what
like
do
a
you listen
podcast.
to? Just like something, anything.
Paraliminals are big. I
What
listen
is
to
that?
paraliminals. I sent you some.
Clearly-
I'm
He
listening
clearly
to
hasn't
Steve.
done
Shouldn't have
that.
asked that question.
They're really good.
So paraliminals, I had some really
Okay.
great success with paraliminals in my life. I have stories about that, but it's whole brain learning. So it's like you're listening with headphones on and one ear is talking to like the one hemisphere of the brain opposite. So it's two voices in your ears that are like talking to like the left brain and the right brain because they think differently. Like the different sides of your brain, it's like the creative side and the logical side, like the thinking side. So it's like a 20-minute recording, and like you don't have to listen, you don't have to hang on every word.
And somebody
you
talking?
don't. Yeah, two
Okay.
different voices.
And
Two
they're different
separate
people, like
voices.
different people.
Same person.
Same person.
Yeah.
And talking in the same tone and everything. They're just saying different things.
Sometimes the speed is a little different, but you don't have to listen. You don't have to like hang on every word. Just like you don't in my own recordings that
Yeah.
I make for my clients. Like you
Yeah.
don't have to listen to the words that are being said. You just let it wash
like
over
absorbing
you.
or something almost, right?
Yeah, just like if you're like if you watch a scary movie before bed and then you have you'll have nightmares or
Yeah.
you'll have a stressful sleep, anxious
Yeah.
sleep.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's the same thing. Like you're just like letting yourself get this like good dose of like positivity and
Yeah.
like the direction you want to go in life
Yeah.
before bed.
That's super interesting. Because there's a business guy who I heard about like programming, like just programming. He was talking about affirmations and all that stuff. And
I love
was
affirmations.
Yeah, and I started doing that stuff. And it's funny, like one of the affirmations I was doing in the beginning of quarantine or the COVID thing was that like abundance will find its way here. Over and
Yeah.
like every night I was listening to it.
The Bob Proctor one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Sounds
was
good.
like, it's just going on, and all of a sudden, like all these things started happening. Like all of a sudden, like we're doing video calls. No, now clients are coming, and now boarding's picking up, and people
Yeah.
want to send their dogs, and we got the dog park, and like it was just a crazy like thing that happened there. So I'm a believer in it.
Can I say something about affirmations? Though?
Yeah.
Because you're a believer in it, that's how they worked. Because
That's a good
sometimes
point.
people could be like, I don't
This is
deserve,
bullshit.
or like, yeah, I don't deserve to be successful. Like deep inside, they believe they do not deserve to be successful.
That's a
That
good
is their
point.
like core belief. So they can, until the cows come home, they could be like, I'm successful, I'm
Right.
successful. And it's not going to show up because like in deep inside, that's where like the hypnosis comes in, because it like clears
deep.
out that like old paradigm, which is
Yeah.
the collection of beliefs.
Yeah.
It clears out all that stuff. And then you can listen to the recording, which is programming you to see it.
So do you see hypnotherapy as like a first step for people?
Yes. So I do programs with people. I do like 30-day programs with people, and I
Okay.
always do like hypnosis first. So like and also like the way I look at it is like, let's get rid of like the stuff from the past. Like
Yeah.
let's clear up the
Yeah.
past
Starting
stuff.
Clean that shit up.
So you can be in the present moment and then be manifesting
that's
the life
interesting.
that you want with the coaching afterwards.
Uh-huh. Because a lot of people, in my opinion, are fearful to go to their past.
Oh, totally.
Like terrified. You
Well,
know?
the thing about
like
that is-
avoidance.
And so I say to my clients, it's like you're just reviewing the past, you're not reliving the past, because you've already lived it. You
Yeah.
don't have to, and you're actually living it every day when you don't.
That's what
when
I'm
you don't
saying. It's
look at
happening.
it.
You're just
Right.
maybe not totally aware that it's happening.
Yes.
Yeah. And you're in, like people who have had like those traumas and all that stuff, to me, they're living in a state of suffering every day,
Yeah.
but unknowingly.
Yeah.
And they can't
Yeah.
even see that it's happening. They just think, I'm just like this.
Yes.
But I don't know if you actually are like that.
So true.
You know?
They've labeled themselves. They put this
I
because
am.
it's beliefs.
Yeah. Like, I'm this, I'm that. It's so freaking interesting.
And I think
Yes.
people are afraid of, like, they might think that there are certain events that have happened in their lives, and they're like, oh, yeah, I don't want to go there. But then when you go into the hypnotherapy, like, I know for myself, I thought certain things would come up, and then when I did my session, it was like
Random.
nothing of what I thought. I was
I
like,
know.
wow, I didn't even, like,
Yeah.
I remember that happening, but not really.
I was
Right.
shocked at that first event with the whole like picking on thing. I was like, what? That was the thing. I remembered it.
Right.
I like, but I
But
remember.
you didn't think it was a big deal.
No.
Right, me too.
Shit, I was like a young
Right.
kid. It was a big deal.
Right.
But then I was like, damn, that was that one event can trigger just like your whole life of just feeling like that, like I can't speak up for myself.
Yep.
Isn't
And
that
those
crazy how one event like that can just,
You just keep reenacting it almost.
yeah.
Yeah. And so that came up in your session because that was like, that's what the subconscious deemed the most
The most
necessary.
important. Yeah, to deal with.
Yeah.
So you do it first, so hypnotherapy, and then what's the coaching look like?
So the coaching is more like, is there any resistance that come up? Where are the beliefs now?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how are you feeling now? And then like, let's create, what are you working towards?
Yeah.
So like trying to keep the thoughts in check with like pure potentiality, like that everything is available to you, that the world is working out for you. What are the words you're using? Like, so trying to catch people like NLP
Yeah.
style, like, what are you, the I am statements
Yes.
that you're saying. So,
Yeah.
so like, it's like working more towards like it, cause it takes time to change.
For sure.
So it's more like repetition of like moving.
That's
towards
something
what
I
you
have to come
want.
to terms with lately. Like I was like saying about like I talked to you about the forgiveness and all that thing, and I did that, and I was like, well, I'm still having these feelings. Sometimes I get pissed off about things, and it's supposed to be like helping with the anger and all that, but I can see it now. That's the difference. Is like in the past, I would be like, it would just happen. The event would happen, and I would need like all this time to like cool down,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Where now it's like I feel it, like the feelings of it. I don't join in with it. I can see it happening. I can like recover way quicker now.
Yep.
Super
yeah, awareness
interesting.
is number one.
It's like it feels like you like I don't even know how to describe it. It's like it's not something you really consciously think. It doesn't even feel like you're consciously thinking about it though.
No.
In those moments, it's kind of just happening.
Yeah.
Like you can actually see that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So interesting. So do you think that people should be doing hypnotherapy? They do it once and then continue doing it, or like and keep having these events come up? Because I'm like, I want to keep doing it.
Yeah, I think that
Steve wants to keep doing
we're
everything.
Yeah, I'm like,
same. I mean, I've
Yeah.
had like 6 sessions because luckily, like I have friends who do this, so it's like
Yeah.
we just do swaps and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I'm like constantly. Although I came to a point where I'm like, all right, I'm gonna chill for a little while.
yeah.
You know, I'm
yeah.
just gonna
what's
like
coming
be
up?
where
You're
I
like,
am.
I don't know. I think I'm done now. I
Yeah,
just talked
I
about
got
the
it
whole
all
past.
But you
But
know,
would you work on the same issue, like doing the hypnotherapy, or would it be different?
it's always different. It's like it's never the same exact issue. It's always like a variation of that or different because we're like layers of the onion. So like you will release like the energy of that issue that you came, and then more stuff could come up from that. And then also I see that clients will go deeper the more that they come, like more like darker things or deeper things or
Start to come
something
up.
comes up because your mind is trusting you now. It's like,
Uh-huh.
all right, I
That
know that
makes
this is
sense.
safe. Leah is safe.
Yeah.
Like the process is safe. Like I can.
Yeah,
I can
because
let
if there
it
was
all
something
go.
from the past that made them feel unsafe, and that can make them feel even unsafe with that scenario.
Yeah, that's a really
Yeah.
good point. Yep.
That's really interesting. So then it's multiple. So people can do it as much as they want.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yes.
Okay. So you
But
ready?
the
Let's go.
reprogram-
And
that would be a
Should we
great
do that- should we
podcast.
do that for the
that'd be
next
pretty
one?
interesting.
That would
We
Yeah.
can actually do it. And what is like the
Well, maybe just because we do the producing on the spot, maybe you can run a little something at the end of this, like almost like a affirmation, something. I don't know, but yeah, maybe next time we can do it too.
yeah, we could do something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what that would look like. I'll
Because
be
it is
talking
audio.
about my childhood. And like, people are like, wow, I'm not following
Yeah,
this guy no
we
more.
might have to edit that one.
Yeah,
It would be for
exactly.
the viewers. Though.
And cut, yeah.
I feel like it could be for the viewers.
Yeah.
Oh, like a guided, like,
A
yeah.
little guided something.
I could even make you guys, because I did that for Jane Dew in Hoboken. Like, I made them a guided meditation thing that they gave out to their clients for body
that's cool.
body image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
cool.
super interesting.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
were talking about like how the reason I found this to be super fascinating is because something I deal with our clients is how do I get this dog to balance when a human is clearly imbalanced?
Yeah.
Right? Whether that's physically, psychologically, but a lot of times it's psychologically. But physically is like another one too. That's why I'm all for like personal trainer. Like I think this is like a whole thing. You know what I mean? I think this hypnotherapy thing is a big part of it for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like having what I'm saying to you guys is that if there's somebody there who, you know, you come to me and you got tons of issues from your past, or maybe you don't even know that you do, right?
Yeah.
Do these people like in your like? Do people know that they have issues from the past, or is it, or it could be either way,
Some
I
do,
guess?
yeah, some do, some don't. But I mean, so there's like the big T and the little T, like trauma. It's like large traumas and small traumas. So sometimes people were like
micro-traumas kind of
physically
thing.
abused,
Yeah.
and sometimes people are just like ignored because their parents are super busy. But as a child, you make a meaning like, oh, well then nobody likes
Yeah.
me. Nobody wants to hear what I have to say. Nobody
It's a
wants me
story you
around.
create.
Yes.
Would you
and
say
then that
that-
becomes your blueprint?
Would you say a core of the things come from childhood?
Oh yes, because from the time you're in utero, and I've had clients go back to in utero.
Holy cow!
Really?
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
I heard my mom
Wow,
yelling
that's
at me.
crazy. I didn't even know that that was possible.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
totally. You can go back to past lives too. I've done past lives.
Really?
Yes, that's a whole other topic. But
That's
anyway.
cool. We might have to explore that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just asking some reverend about that, like what he
Oh,
thinks
yeah.
about like what happens after this, and he's like, obviously, I don't know, but I hope there is something that happens after this.
What does he think about like before this, like reincarnation?
I didn't ask him that, but I think he thinks there is some sort of afterlife. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that means that afterlife is like another life,
Yeah.
or like what I don't know. I didn't really get that deep
It's
into
an
it.
interesting conversation.
Yeah, it's super. Oh my god,
Yeah.
it's like we could talk about that for like hours for
Yeah.
sure.
So yeah, there's the big T and the little T, but
Uh-huh.
so from the time you're in utero to the time you're like 7, 8 years old, like
Yep.
you're in that subconscious mind. You're like living
Yep.
in that theta mind. So
Yep.
you have to learn to eat and walk and talk and, you know, all these like survival things
Yes.
so fast. So you're
Like
also
a state of absorption almost, right?
exactly,
Yeah.
your little sponge. So like
Yeah.
if your parents are ignoring you, or if your parents are hostile, or if like your mom has body image issues, you're picking that up. Like this is how
Yeah.
women show up in life.
And the
This is-
relationship between parents, how they're behaving together.
Totally. Because we don't have the ability to like question it. It's
Right.
like because there's nothing to compare it to.
Right.
So it's like, oh, this is how
That's
a
a great
human
point.
works.
That's a great point that there's nothing to
sometimes
compare it
it
to because
terrifies me
why?
to have kids.
Why? Because
Like so many things like can potentially, I don't want to say like
Yeah.
mess them up, but can affect them.
Can
you know,
traumatize
It's
them.
crazy
Right,
because I
that
think the
you-
same way.
it's
exactly
like-
the same way because now we know everything that we know. It's like, are we going to mess our kids up?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But it's their path. I feel
True.
so. I have an 11-year-old daughter, and I know that like there's times where I'm like, oh, like I can't believe this.
Right.
But I'm like, this is her path, and she chose me as a
Right.
mom. Like she honestly was
That's a
like,
good way of
these
looking at
two
it.
I'm going to, and this is what my life is gonna.
Mm-hmm.
She has to. We all have our lessons to learn, and if we didn't, then we would be like, you know, think about
Yeah.
we've all worked on our stuff.
Oh my God,
and it's
yeah.
made us stronger people.
I talk
So-
about it. I talk about it like the deepest part of like the lowest part of my life was where I gained the most wisdom by far. It wasn't even close.
Exactly.
So it's
Yeah.
like I like now and then people say like, would you want to go back and do that again? No, I don't want to deal with that shit again. But
Yeah.
do I regret it? Hell no, because that was where I got a ton of wisdom, a ton of like a different view of the world from that place.
Yes.
Yeah, so that makes a lot of sense.
For me, I was going through like my husband and I split up, and
Yeah.
that's like around the time where I found
too.
hypnosis because I really needed to work on my mindset because I was so insecure, I was
Yeah.
so codependent. I was like, my life is over now because this relationship is over.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I was like, oh my gosh, no! Now I'm such a stronger person because of that.
Yeah, I went into like I'm like a very competitive person for sure, but a competition with myself almost. And then when my relationship did not work out, I was like, you're a failure. I've been
Yeah.
competitive my whole life, like in
Yeah.
sports and business, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then when I got to that, I felt like you failed. You're a failure. This and that. But that like event for whatever it was needed to happen to get me to this place where I am right now. Because without that, I don't know, I'd probably be on the same freaking path, or in jail, or I don't know, something not good for sure. So I feel almost like blessed, or like I feel grateful to have gone through like trauma. As crazy as that sounds, we were talking about suffering in the last one of sometimes I feel like people are trying to prevent others from suffering, where sometimes they have to go through some suffering to actually take a few steps back to go forward in life.
And that goes back to things are happening for you, not to you.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
That's really deep.
Yeah.
Could go on forever with this stuff.
I know, I
So
could
good.
too. I love talking to you guys.
So, and I think that, like, to me, I think it's something that everybody should try. As you guys know, like, I'll try freaking pretty much anything. And when I did it, I was like, I didn't know what to think. I was just like, whatever, I'll just see how it was. How was I as a what do you call them? Like, would you call me?
A client?
A
A
client?
specimen.
Yeah.
What do you call them?
Yeah.
It was all part of my research project.
But I was very open, and I'm sure that has a big factor into it, right? Like
Oh,
how open the person
totally.
is. I was like,
Yes.
yeah, like whatever has to happen, let's go. Let's just do
Yes.
this thing. But I can
Yes.
see how people can come in. So what are people's biggest fears coming into this, and what do you see?
I think that like they're gonna share something that they can't handle, or that
It's embarrassing.
or even that it's not gonna work. Like I think that a lot of people are like, well, what is this? Like I'm spending the time and the energy to do this. Like, is it not gonna work?
Right.
But I think like whenever you're questioning like a subconscious belief, like there's power in it, and also the recording is helpful too because you're
Right.
like constantly listening.
Yeah.
But I had one client I remember once, like she came for nail biting and she opened her eyes like repeatedly, like she just was like, I can't do this, and I was like, she walked out of the office and I'm like, that's like the most difficult session I ever had, and within 21 days she stopped nail biting. So I was like,
Oh.
it
So it
still
still
works.
worked.
Yes.
Because now they can see almost, maybe, right? Like they can see that it's a thing potentially.
Yes,
or,
maybe
yeah.
because there was like some uncovering of,
Yeah.
of information.
It came out, or at least got like it got exposed, and she got like fearful of it, but
Yeah.
it still got exposed.
Yep.
You know, that's
Yeah.
so interesting.
But I would like to think that most people that are, they're seeking you out. So they're interested in the whole process itself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you have
Right,
to have
that's
some
true.
belief in
That's
it
true.
for you to seek it out. Because if you didn't want to do something, you'd be like, oh no, I don't believe that shit. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Very true. That's a good point.
So
So
there's,
there's like
some
a
belief
layer
to it.
of belief, even if they're like what's the word I'm looking for? Like not like
Skeptic, or-
skeptical, like
Yeah.
skeptical of it. Like they can be skeptical of it, but what's the percentage of how much they believe? Because they have to believe some way,
Right.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like in going, or else unless someone's like forcing them to do it. But that's why I didn't tell anyone, hey guys, so that for what we're doing this year is like you will be doing hypnotherapy. Like I don't do that shit because
Right.
if I do that, I'm making people do it, and then they're like feel forced to do it. I just opened it up. I was like, whoever wants to do it can do it. Not
That was
everybody did it.
So generous of you and
Yeah.
so like brilliant for you because like to take care of like
The team,
the
the
yeah,
pack.
the
You can
back.
see, you gotta take care of the pack.
Yeah.
You know? But to me, it's so important because if like this is what the dogs have taught me too. Is like it within a pack, one that's weak makes the whole pack weak. For sure. So and weak meaning that like I'm not dealing with my traumas. I'm not dealing with anything. I'm just gonna live life in this
Not growing.
miserable, angry, frustrated state. That's one in business. As a human being, I like want to help that person so bad. But in business, I can't have that energy around because, like what we were talking about, the energy of this place.
Yeah.
If somebody's here with that energy, I consider the energy here like a sacred thing. So if you're gonna bring that shit energy here, we got to do something about it. And I'm willing to help them through it and
Yeah.
like do what we have to do. But because it's not only me, it's the dogs.
Yeah, that's true.
So-
but it's palatable. I mean, I walked in here and I knew right away. It was
Yeah.
like, this place is a great place. And like,
Yeah.
you people are awesome to hang
Yeah,
out with. Like,
just-
can I come back next year?
Yeah, come hang out.
Like,
Yeah.
It really is amazing how one person can affect everyone.
Yeah. Look, if I had 50 dogs in that dog park out there, and everyone's in a good state and feeling good about themselves, and they're socializing, and the energy's pretty calm and all that, I bring one overexcited dog, one anxious dog, one dog showing aggression. It'll change the whole dynamic of the pack instantly.
Wow.
And they will see it, and you'll see the reaction to it. So we're gonna film a lot of that stuff so people can see that. See how, look, I'm gonna bring this dog. Let's see the reaction of the pack. Let's bring
so
this dog and see the reaction of the pack. And the great thing about a dog is they're 100% honest.
Yeah, right.
Right.
They're not putting on the best face.
And that's also why, though, a lot of dogs are showing aggression and doing things like that because other dogs, they know that the other dogs know that they're weak. So they become proactive to actually go after another dog because they're like, I need to go after this dog because they're going to be able to sense my weakness.
Oh my gosh.
Super. That's fearful. Fear aggressive cases are like that. That's what
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah.
But that's also humans too, in my opinion. It's
Oh,
like
yeah, for
why
sure.
why are you saying that about me? Well, and then they go to attack the other person.
Right.
You know, because like we can't talk about that because I'm going through my own insecurities and fears and all that. What about, do you do this? Do people ever come to you for like goal setting kind of things? Like it's not just like dealing with past, but like they want to do future things?
Yeah, definitely.
But I guess that's still uncovering the past, right? To be able to...
It's like, what is your pattern? You know, what is the pattern? So, like, do you believe that you can have, like, this? So it's like getting rid of, like, any of the beliefs that are in the way of, like, getting that goal formulated.
So cool.
But then, like, as far as goal setting, it's, like, really using a lot of the law of attraction things that, like, you're not, like, pushing to get something.
Yeah.
It's more, like, letting things flow to you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you're opened up. Like, you're a channel that you're, like,
Yeah.
getting opportunities and then taking action on them. Because that's, like, a big place where people are lacking is that, like, people show up or opportunities show up and they're just like, oh, I'll do that later because they're afraid or something. There's like some sort of resistance, but like action every day is really important.
That's so true because people do the affirmations and all that, and it definitely leads to people, I'm sure, unlocking and actually taking action. But like just saying like I am or I'm going to and all that, and then like here's the thing. Like I really feel like that's a big factor in the whole thing too, because it's like, well, are you gonna do it or not?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I'm not. Well, then you're never gonna get there. Or maybe that one thing has to happen so you can get to the next thing. Or I don't know. I can get so deep with this stuff.
Yeah. So it's getting to the fear. What's the fear of taking the action?
Yeah.
Even?
Yeah. Is it? Yeah. And then is it fear, or is it I don't believe in it, or is it because I don't believe in it because of the fear?
Yes. Right.
It's really true.
And sometimes people show up and I'm like, oh, this is the issue. Like it'll be fear or it's because they don't believe in it. And then it's something completely different. It's not me I'm just guiding someone into their own natural, like their intuition, their intelligence, their innate intelligence.
That's true because like I'm sure when I was going there, I definitely felt like, all right, these things are going to come up. Like
that's how I felt.
This is going to be the event.
Right.
Like there was this thing that happened and it's like that didn't even happen at all. It was like some
there were
first grade
other,
event.
like I said, like minor things that came up. Not minor, but like I thought they were minor at the time.
Yeah.
So to think about that though, it's like kind of bizarre, like not bizarre, but crazy to think about that for that much of my life, 95% of my brain was being held back by that one event.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Up until like whenever we did that session. It's really like mind-boggling to think about, to be honest.
It's so true because like as children, like a trauma happens, any sort of trauma, like being bullied or is a big decent trauma, like that little child gets stuck back there.
Yeah.
So you have to like go back and bring him forward.
As I was just saying all that shit about dogs and moving forward and all that stuff, that's why likely I was getting into so many fights.
Oh, wow.
Because I was being the proactive, like, oh, I'm actually insecure and I don't want to be bullied or picked on again. Like I was in first grade, that event. So I'll just be the proactive one and just like fight this guy right away.
Wow.
Instantly.
You just had this download?
Just now. It just popped in my head.
Oh, I love it. It's powerful.
really
you love when that happens?
I love that.
Yes.
Yeah,
the connection was just made.
It makes so much sense now because that's like one thing that I had was like I always talk about how like if people saw my past and now who I am now, a lot of people in the public or the average human being would say that guy in the past is the tougher guy, stronger guy, the more secure guy because I put on the show of it.
Yeah.
But now I'm like without a doubt, like I would make the other guy cry if I talked to that my old self now. You know what I mean? I'd be like, so why you have so much like what's going on with your fear?
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you talking to me like that? I'm like, bro, I could kick your ass too because I've been practicing Muay Thai. You know? Like, no, but it's so true that for me, like just seeing that is like such an interesting thing and a huge piece of growth. It's ongoing. By the way, people, it's not like it's like you do hypnotherapy.
See, that was live growth, guys.
Yeah, and it's done, and it's like a done deal, and you're like, okay, life's good. It's like these events, I feel like, start unraveling and start causing new things and to see.
Yeah.
It's being
so
able to see.
Sense.
I'd say the most I can say is like it's being able to like see now almost and like see what it actually is. And I'm not talking about seeing like a visual see. It's almost like maybe it's not even word see or feel.
Like embodiment.
Yeah, like it's almost like you understand. Maybe is even a better word.
Yeah.
It's so fascinating.
It is fascinating.
Damn. So, what are we gonna do? So you're doing video calls now?
Yeah, I do Zoom. Everything's on Zoom because of COVID and
We got to
stuff.
put
Unless
our
I'm
information
here.
up there too, if we can get it up there, or we can add it in the stuff at the end, in the caption or something.
Yeah, we could do it in the caption.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so people know where to do it. And you're taking clients?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, 30-day clients.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
30-day clients?
Yeah, so we do
Like
the hypnosis.
for the coaching?
Yeah, so we do the hypnosis first, and then there's coaching sessions that follow. So that we're like looking at the whole picture of what needs to, where we're going, where we're starting from, and then we're,
Nice.
what you're looking to create in your life. How you're looking to feel is really like the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
So people come with you to come to you for one goal, say like this is what I want, and then you kind of work backwards from there.
Yeah, so like for instance, like somebody call this week about career and relationships. I'm like, let's focus on one thing because it's better to not like dilute things and
Yeah.
like focus on this like big picture. But things like, so if they're going to focus on relationships in that one session, other things will get cleared up,
Right.
like around the career, because it's all energy.
Right,
Like all
right.
of this is just energy and beliefs.
What's
I
the most
remember you
common thing that
sorry.
people come to you with?
So everything really boils down to like self-confidence, like I'm enough.
Yeah.
Or I, like some people think like it's like what they want is not available to them. So things like boil down to like a couple of different root, and those are like the biggest one is like I'm not enough.
And that can
could see
definitely go
that.
into like not being able to achieve something or like get to that place that's not unavailable if you're not enough.
Yeah, relationships, careers, health, success. All of this is like I'm not enough. Like I'm not
And
good
that's
enough.
definitely coming from childhood too. So what? So do you think
It's
people,
so easy.
parents, like just not?
School.
Yeah.
School's a big one. Religion, friends. I
So
mean,
going into school, I'll tell you that people, like if any of my old teachers are watching, they used to all tell me that this kid's never going to amount to nothing. He's a this, he's a that, and like all that shit they were telling
Yeah.
me because I was like, because I couldn't sit at a desk like this and be like 4
Yeah.
+ 4 = 8, like that. And I
Yeah.
was like, I want to get out of here. I got to do something else. Like
Yeah.
there was no creativity for me doing that stuff. So it's interesting how like school is a huge factor because they're human beings, the teachers. They got their own
Yeah.
issues. They got their own things
Totally.
going on.
And think about it, when you're a kid, you're in school for what, 8 hours? Like it's a big
Long
part of
period
your
of
life
time.
as a kid.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely the structure. And so like one time I had somebody come for a body image, and they picked up on a body image, like a lack of a like a positive body image from their friends, like from their peers, because she just realized that like people were different than her. So she was like, that person's different than me. Like I should look
Yeah.
that way too. And she was like 7 years old, and
Yeah.
so it's like these little like
I'm sure it's worse now with technology and
Oh,
social
it's-
media and
yeah.
all that.
yeah.
I almost feel like lucky, like in our age, like we didn't grow up with that shit. I don't know, but you're 30, so were you getting social media and all that stuff like in high school or middle school?
no.
I
Not
think
even
it-
yet.
At the end
I
of
didn't
high
get
school,
my first cell phone until I was like,
I got it as
High
my
school?
listen, we had
graduation
cell
gift.
phones, but we didn't have internet on them.
Yeah.
yeah, and oh no,
Yeah,
it was
so
a basic phone.
was a
Yeah.
basic
And I had
phone.
to share it with my sister because at that time
That's
there were
pretty
only
funny.
4 lines to a plan.
That's
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
No, but we didn't. I did not grow up with that.
Yeah.
2007 was when I graduated high school, so like YouTube was just becoming more popular, you know. So yeah, we didn't really have it like that.
interesting.
Facebook, we had it and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, Facebook was
glad.
like just coming around, like when
But
I
that
was
was
in
on
college.
Facebook, yeah, when you had to be in college.
I was out of college and I was like, I don't want that weird shit. And then all of a sudden, now of course everyone in the
Everyone
world
has
has
it.
it.
Yeah.
My father's on there, like typing on. I'm like,
Yes.
God almighty.
This was supposed to just be for college kids to
He
network.
comes over here
Right.
and he's like on his like this, like staring at. We're all talking, and I'm
I
like, you're
know.
like a little kid on your phone right now.
And we're in trance. And
Yeah.
so what we're picking up
That's a
on
great
there
point.
is like the great marketing. Like to be on Facebook marketing, it's like,
Yeah.
yes, like it's right in front of people's faces. If that like they're like
So yeah, because
Connecting
like I saw something where they were talking about how they have artificial intelligence supercomputers that their entire job is to keep you staring at that black mirror.
yeah.
That's their whole thing, is to keep it on, because the more time you're on there, the more opportunity there is to influence you, to make you spend
Sell to
money,
you,
to
yeah.
do something. Watch an ad, do something, you know?
I was just watching that with Tristan, the
Who's
guy,
that?
the guy that made Social Dilemma, the movie.
Uh-huh.
I was watching a podcast with him.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
And these people who were the creators of social media were like, we don't have our kids going on
Right.
there.
Right.
Or at least like those devices and all that stuff. We don't let them go on. Because
Yeah.
it turns them into like probably they're under a state of trance.
Absolutely.
And that's like we were saying, like even TV. Like TV, like it's called TV programming.
Yeah.
So like what you're watching is like, that's what they do it. Advertising
Yeah.
and all that stuff is like, let's suggest this and make you do it. Suggestibility, like we were talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
And would you
keeping
say
people in
it-
fear too.
So we need to
At
hypnotize like, the
nighttime?
public.
Yeah.
What? We
Would
need
you
to-
say at nighttime is like kind of, I don't want to say the worst, but to be on your phone and watch TV because you're absorbing that right before you go to sleep?
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like the last thing that you're putting in your mind before you like close your eyes to go into dreamland. That, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's like
I mean, do you have dreams that resemble what you last saw? Like,
Yeah,
I know
for
if I
sure.
like watch, like if I were to watch a pack leader video right before sleep, you guys would show up in my dreams. Like
Yeah.
that's how
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
so right
Yeah.
there.
You're also primed
So
for it though
note
too.
to us that we have to run our ads.
Yeah.
At the end.
Yeah.
Yes.
at like 8 p.m. on.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you too, like this is like we were talking about this of like like for a few days I was like feeling a little agitated, and I was like, why am I feeling agitated? And I started realizing that Vinny, do not take this the wrong way, by the way. But I was watching, because we have his dog right now,
Yeah.
and I was watching a bunch of just talking about it, by the way, just like we were saying, Vinny, and all of a sudden here come all the Jersey Shore like things on my
yeah.
YouTube suggesting, and I'm like, it's all like and the fights and the arguments and the drama and all this, and I'm like, oh shit, what did he say there? What's going on? And I'm like, and I'm finding myself like getting a little agitated by people, even in the
totally.
supermarket yesterday. I was saying I felt this guy like. I was like, why? Like feeling like that agitation because someone told me like, hey, can you wait while I'm doing something? Like he was definitely confrontational with me, but
Yeah.
I was just like, no, it's okay, no problem, I'll wait. So I can
Yeah.
see it now, which is the difference. Whereas in the past, I would have been like, well, no, I'm not gonna wait and just like start throwing my shit down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, our auras are like 9 feet in diameter around
Yeah.
us, and so like this is all communicating before we even communicate.
Through energy.
Yeah.
Is what we talk about is energy,
Yeah.
vibration, right?
Yeah.
Vibration, which is a frequency which can be measured. By the way, people, energy is everything. We've talked about it before. Super
Yes.
important.
And this is all it's this.
Huh?
This is what this is too.
Yeah.
It's like working with the energies that are stored within.
Everyone can feel them. It's just a matter of being able to like actually get in touch with that. Like just like people always say to me, like, how did you see that with the dog? I'm like, it's just instincts. You have them. You just haven't gotten in touch with them yet.
Yeah.
So it's still like being able to feel energy. Like I always tell people, like, I mean, there's literally the word, like there's like that guy gives me a bad vibe. And all that means is it gives me a bad vibration,
Yeah.
which is a bad
In the sense
energy.
that,
So
yeah.
people can feel it. It's like, what
Right.
did you not like about him? They can't like almost consciously.
They can't
I
describe
don't
it. It's just
know.
a feeling.
There's something
just
about
feel
it.
because
Yeah.
the vibrations are like bouncing off each other, one way or another. Whether it's you have a good one or a bad one going on, or
Yeah.
low or a high one.
Right.
I think it's interesting that in human design you're a generator, and like I knew it. It's like
Yeah.
because you were just
So talk about
constantly.
that.
I don't know a lot about it. I
You're
just
saying right now.
This is what I
even?
was telling you about, Jamie, with the
Such a
my body
generator.
graph.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, did you do it?
I didn't do it yet.
Yeah,
No, I
okay.
have to do it.
So it's just like
so
a
interesting.
new way of like determining like an archetype of what you are. And so there's 5 different types. But Steve's a generator, and talking to him, I'm like,
I can see that.
you have to get your human design. I'm like, I just feel like you're a generator, because he's like, well, we're going to build that over there, and we're going to do this over there, and we're going to do this over there, and he gets it done. That's
Yeah.
the, that's
And you
the
said
key.
you
You
said
get it
you're a
done.
reflector,
I'm a reflector.
and I'm a projector.
Yep.
What do you think Jamie is?
She could be like a manifester or a manifesting
Oh,
generator. I think
nice.
she's like, 'cause she's like more like project management, like
Right.
right? Like you're definitely like the manager of things.
Yeah.
And Leah, you're spot on with that too. Like she said, I was probably a projector, and I was.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
So
we were
it's-
now
even
I have
talking
to
about
take
that,
it.
how I like, even with between, like now it makes sense with you too, like how I can generate all these ideas and all these like things we're going to do and all that.
yeah.
But then I need somebody to actually project that to the world, which is him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, right now it's happening right now.
Literally.
Projecting this
Literally.
stuff out.
Yes.
You know? So it's so interesting. And it makes sense with you with that stuff too, without a doubt.
Manifesting.
And reflector is reflecting back to you what you
Right.
like. I'm your mirror.
Right. Right.
So it's uncomfortable because
that
like
makes
I'm
sense, yeah.
constantly like talking about picking up on people's energies.
Yeah.
My energy centers are open, so they're just like
Yeah.
reflecting back everybody's stuff.
So that
So
means like when
interesting.
you're around
Isn't
someone
it?
like me, you're gonna be like,
Yeah.
let's we should do that.
Yeah,
actually,
I
you know?
love that. I'm like,
And
yes,
Yeah.
let's go.
yeah. But then if you're around somebody who's more like subtle this and that, you're gonna be more like that. Is that
Yeah.
what it is? Super
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
And say so for projector, what does that mean? Like if he's around like a slower, more let's just say like someone who's more down, he's gonna project that kind of energy out.
Well, no. So it depends on like what his chart reads. Like he's got open centers too.
Uh-huh.
Some, like mine are all open. His are like everyone has some.
Yeah.
And then in those open centers, they're like reflecting.
And the energy centers is like the chakras kind of thing.
They're like a little bit beyond the chakras. They're like basically
Yeah.
the chakras, but
Similar.
not like they're just like a little different.
Maybe I can show you guys mine. I'm gonna put it on the screen in a second.
Yeah.
And then what about the that was a one that you were telling me I haven't done it yet, but the Kundalini Yoga.
Kundalini Yoga is like my yeah.
What
So
is
the
that?
things that like I'm like parallels Kundalini Yoga. Those are like the two things. Kundalini Yoga is like so different than yoga. It's like it's an energy yoga, and it's like really different, strange kind of movements, but it's like generating energy. So the idea is to like channel your life force. And so you'd be doing something strange like this, like breathing heavy for 3 minutes. And then like bring it together, hold
Yeah.
it, and then release. And you're like, oh,
Yeah, you were
I
saying that
feel
like you'll just stand there
so
like just do this
good.
thing or something.
Yeah, like
But
one
it-
of my
but it works, like, it
exercises was
feels
like
good?
this. It feels amazing.
No, see, now I'm
And
going
I
to try
didn't-
all this stuff.
Can you
didn't
say that
wanna-
one more time? I think I missed that.
Kundalini Yoga.
But you were saying that the last thing you said.
Oh,
About it.
that it just feels so good. I don't know.
Channeling.
Oh, channeling? Is that what it was?
I don't know. I'm not
Pay
sure.
attention, bro.
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to get this thing in there.
There's
that's
his
good.
He's a
chart.
man. He's
Wait,
not
that's
very
the-
good at
that's your
One thing at a
multitasking.
time. One thing.
That's your no. That's not your
Is
chart.
that yours?
That might be mine.
might
Yeah,
be
that's
yours.
mine. Because I'm
Okay.
like, you're not a reflector.
No. This is yours.
Yeah.
How do you know it's reflector though?
Because all of those boxes are open. Where if you like yours will be like yellow on the bottom or
Me?
brown. Yeah, it's like yours have different colors in the
Uh-huh.
bigger boxes, which means it's a closed center. Which means like you have like an authority in that certain
I see.
center.
I see.
And again, I don't know a lot about this. Somebody who's
Yeah.
a human design person is probably like rolling their eyes.
Yeah.
But like I know the basics.
Like who's this hypnotherapist talking about this
Yeah.
shit?
I
Right
know, right? Like what are you like
But
jack of all trades?
It's
Yeah.
just a test that you take.
But that's yeah. So you just put your name and your birth date and where you were born, the time of your birth.
Oh, it goes based on your birth. It's
Yeah.
not, like,
So it's
some-
kind of
Birth
like-
questions you're
time.
asking,
Birth time too.
And
Very
location.
specific.
Not like
And
was it
location.
the test for like your love language? You know how like asks you all those questions.
No, it's not like that
and-
at all.
Oh,
It's more like
interesting.
astrology.
Yeah, it is. It's like
This is mine here.
It's just like this is the
I
events that have
changed.
happened, and then this is what you are, like kind of thing. That's why I was like, "What am I doing here?" And she's like, "Oh no, you're a generator." And I'm like, "What? I didn't even answer any question."
And I'm going to show
Yeah.
you
Came up
guys.
that way.
So you can see this. This is mine.
Yeah. So see, he has like closed centers. So that means
When
like
that means
his.
closed, what? Like
So
nothing.
there's like colors in those centers. So
Uh-huh,
that means
uh-huh.
that like he like owns those type whatever that
I
center
see.
is. Like he owns those traits.
I see.
Like
I
so those
see.
are like I'm not going to influence him in that like that center. Where we can influence him in those open centers.
ones over here.
Yeah. So it's
I like
like
want to do this right now.
No,
You
I
should.
really
You're
do.
fine.
Yeah, I really do think that it would be
Now
cool
I'm
if you did it.
curious.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
I'd be
Okay.
curious to see.
You have to know your birth
My
time, though.
body
Do you know
count?
it?
Do you know your birth time and,
I do.
and place?
Nice. That's amazing.
When you say birth time, like, do you have to know the exact minute?
The time, yeah, the minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they say that
Should I text
you
your
could
mom?
do this
Yeah.
for businesses because it's good to know what other people are so that you can like play off of each other's strengths.
That's
and, like-
interesting. I did it.
Yeah.
I did it like the we did a while back the disc profiles on people.
Oh yeah. We
Oh,
did do
So
Okay.
this is like, if you see, this is like the information here.
Oh, yeah.
It's where I was born, what time, and then it'll say like right there the type, which is a projector.
But like the non-self theme is like bitterness. Like, do you see like yourself when you're not yourself, when you're not in alignment with yourself, like grounded? Are you bitter? Like, do you find
Yeah,
bitterness?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. you
Oh
can see
yeah,
it.
Mine's
for sure
disappointment.
He is.
Yeah, he knows.
Like I can.
That just
I
made me
wonder what
really.
mine is.
That just made me
Signature
really,
success, dude. That's good.
really bitter.
Yeah, exactly.
It made
You
me
know,
way more
now.
bitter.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
It is honestly fascinating, and actually, listen, it didn't make sense to me. I had to talk to Leah about it and say like, "What does this mean, Leah?" And she
Yeah.
like explained it to me,
A
and
little bit.
she also explained it to me how like you and I think in our text you were explaining to me how him and I actually work together, good because you're a generator, I'm a projector. I project your ideas. and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
So
Yeah.
cool.
So you're
Really
so
cool.
lucky you like manifested Adam to come on the team.
You know what I'm saying?
So perfect.
So interesting.
It
I feel like
literally
it's
is.
just like
we talked about that too, right?
yeah,
How,
like these things happen.
yeah.
Like how I met Adam was with Caesar out in LA. So you're obviously drawn to certain things, I'm sure.
Right.
That I was like probably more in alignment with him because it made sense for what the hell I was doing.
Well, the
and it probably
mission-
made sense for him too.
And the
Yeah.
mission, the
Yeah.
mission that we both kind of were
Yeah.
embarking on.
What are you,
That's good.
Jamie?
I don't know. I'm getting
It's like
there.
it says like unknown. Or
I was
something.
giving
Yeah,
you
right?
a lot of
Alien.
questions.
She's
No,
alien.
I had to put in all my
Mars.
information.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay.
I'm like glad I did this, but now I'm like now everyone's
No,
gonna see
do
now.
it. I can
Well,
talk
before
about
we forget,
Kundalini
where
Yoga.
can people find you?
Okay, so my website.
We'll put this in the comments and everything or whatever it is. What is it?
Yeah, the description.
Caption. Description.
Description.
I'm
Yeah.
learning my terms. Yeah.
Good thing you have it.
Yeah, I know. Good thing I have a projector with me.
Yeah.
Okay, I got mine.
Can you
We
airdrop?
have to go back to that. Don't
Airdrop
forget.
it to me.
So where does it say that? Like I remember when
Here,
Steve showed me on the
information
phone. What
hub.
does it say that?
I'm trying to see.
Well, in the meantime, where can
Oh.
they find you? Your website?
My website is heyleahc.com. HEY Leah LEAHC.com or
Perfect.
Hoboken Hypnosis. And my
Hoboken, by the way.
Yeah.
Forgot about Hoboken.
But we do like I see clients from all over.
Yeah.
Because even prior to COVID, like I would see clients from. I work with Marissa Peer's group in,
Yeah.
in UK, so they send me clients you know,
Yeah.
from all over the place. And then my Instagram is Hey Leah C.
Awesome.
Facebook is Hypnotherapy with Leah Crescenzo, but again, I don't do a lot on there. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah. You need
it's
a
just
projector.
there. I know I need Adam.
You found it?
I need Adam.
I'm sending it to him. I see my body graph, but I don't know where all the information is. Where it describes
like-
it.
It didn't send it to me. It sent this.
You probably have to screenshot it and then send it.
Yeah, can you screenshot it,
Yeah.
Jimmy, and then send it?
Well, people can now, if you put that back, people can see where they can do their own
yes.
test, actually, if
Yes.
they want to.
Yeah, like where's the actual?
This is a fascinating.
MyBodyGraph.com.
I recommend everybody doing that.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Where is it?
You might need someone like Leah to
MyBodyGraph.com.
interpret it, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
still cool
Even
to
if you
have
click
it and
on
just save
those.
it.
Yeah, because I really didn't understand it. She had to explain it to me a little
I mean, that
bit.
should
Yeah.
make sense though. That it says like,
So
yeah, you're a
I remember when
generator. Like
Steve
Steve, you're a
came with us,
generator.
I
I'm
was
like,
like, you're right,
yeah,
what
I
is-
guess
like,
that
how
makes
do you-
sense for
Like,
sure
how do you
because I can't
click on? Like
like.
that's the chart.
What are we doing next? Like,
Yeah.
let's do the next.
The
one.
reason why it's
Gotta be over
fascinating
there.
to see Jamie's too is because we work with you, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what Leah was explaining.
Yeah.
We work with you, so it's like, let's see how we work together
Right.
and how we can help each other, basically.
Yep.
Or after this,
I
you
do
could be
believe
like, you're fired.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I do believe she's like probably a manifestor, what Leah said.
Manifesting generator. What is it?
So to me, without a doubt,
She's a manifestor.
Caesar's
I
definitely,
knew it.
Yep. It's so funny.
and Caesar's definitely a generator.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would love to see Caesar fill that out because I guarantee you he's a generator. I mean, generator.
Okay.
Most
That
likely.
is so funny.
So a manifestor, what do they do?
So I love that you guys are all like a little perfect
bit
little
different.
team.
Yeah, how do we
yeah.
work? How do we mesh then? How does that work?
I don't know because like I said, I'm not like I just know like
Yeah.
a little bit about
Yeah.
this, but I believe like she's like more project management, like managing the underneath the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like she's almost
That's you?
grounding.
That's
them.
me.
Yeah, so you have a lot of open centers too, so you pick up on other people's energies.
Right.
You don't have yours, Steve, because I'm wondering like what closed centers you have.
So Jamie, on your end, you can start like tapping on those nodes. Tap on like on your phone. We're
Yeah.
not going to be able to see it here,
it's
but if you
gonna give you
tap,
information.
yeah, it'll
Oh, yeah, that.
explain
Top one
more
is the
stuff.
throat center.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know what mine was.
So Steve, when you look at yours, if you tap on like let's say like that little rib cage looking thing,
Yeah.
if you tap on that, it'll show you more information about that.
With the numbers.
Yeah, it gives you like
Hey. That's Nico, by the way, everybody, scratching in his kennel.
Oh, is he ready to get out?
Yeah, he's like, enough of this talking about
Yeah.
centers and shit. He's like, I need to generate some energy in the dog park
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
And you expel some energy.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Really good.
That's awesome when you did it.
Yeah.
So
So we got-
interesting.
Yeah, so.
So
if
it
you
said
got-
manifestor. That's the type. Manifestor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can't
she's a
get to the whole
manifestor.
like chart that you had exactly, like where it broke everything down.
If you
Oh,
pull it
no?
up on your computer, it's easier to
Oh, you
read.
know what? You know where it is? It's down at the bottom,
Information hub.
Yes.
But which part of it?
and then you would go to foundation introduction.
So I definitely want to come back out here in the spring when we can go outside.
In nature and do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is
That would
this
be
And
is-
do like
so
the hypnotherapy
grounding.
there, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to do that. There's so many spots where I go, I walk with Nico like deep into the woods sometimes.
Yeah.
And there's like so many spots where
go to profile.
I just stop and just like I put him in a down just so I can hear the silence.
Ugh.
As weird as that sounds, but
like a-
So nice.
there's like such a beauty
I
to
could-
like the
I could,
silence.
I'll tell you right now.
Yeah.
And being in the middle of nature and stuff. And there's so many spots I'm like, oh, this would be so cool to meditate here. This would be so cool to like do something over here.
Yeah.
That's eventually I'm going to set all that shit up. for
Yeah,
sure.
when COVID lifts, to have like a little group
Look, Jamie,
meditation
mine
out
looks
there.
different.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so then meditation versus
I'll have to look at it
hypnosis.
Hypnosis is meditation with a goal.
Mm-hmm.
So meditation, you're like calming your nervous system,
Yep.
quieting your mind.
Yep.
You know, you can get connection to source.
Yep.
This is all of that with like a goal.
Okay.
You know, you're prompting the mind to like create or
Mhm.
bring you information.
Because meditation is technically tapping into subconscious mind, right? Not
Yeah.
really, though.
Well, you're going into like an unconscious
Right.
like
Yeah,
play.
yeah,
You
yeah,
are like
right.
going into the lower brainwave states.
Right. Just calming and slowing things down.
So even like with so people who meditate, like if you're in that meditative state, to like bring in the affirmations from there is really powerful.
Yeah.
Or visualization or feeling in the meditation state is
Yeah.
like the meditative state is like really powerful for creation.
I told you I had this meditation like in the middle of it was probably in May. When it was right here. Literally, I was meditating right here on a biomat.
Ugh, biomat.
Biomats, by the way, if you don't have a
Another thing.
biomat, you need to get one. They're expensive
Yeah.
as hell, but they're so good.
Yeah.
But I was doing a meditation, and all of a sudden, like first came Maddie, then came Cammy, the other dog, then came Shadow, then came Claude, then came my grandparents, like who had passed away. And each person's coming, and I'm like, you're all here. I was like, you're here too? You're here too? And I'm not like saying this out loud. I was like somewhere else when this was
Yeah.
going on. They're like, yeah, what did you think? We're all like, they're like looking at me like, they're like, there's something wrong with me for not like
Yeah.
understanding that. Yeah, of course we're all here. What do you think? And then all of a sudden I woke up, I was like, what the fuck just happened just now?
Yeah.
And the other one I told you was it's very rare when there's nobody in this house besides like, anyway, there's 49 people here. But so I'm downstairs and I was getting something out of like the cabinet down there, like a pot. And all of a sudden I just stopped and I like turned around and I could like visualize Maddie walking by, smelling me and like running off. And I was just like, looked around. I was like, what the fuck is going on right now? It was really bizarre ass feeling. I don't know what that is, and I'm not like, I don't get into it, but I choose to believe that energy is still around.
Totally.
And just believe it. Why not?
Yeah.
I could believe either way, right?
Do you think that you needed her at that moment? Like, do you think that she came for a reason? Like,
maybe
to
because it was
communicate
probably a time where like I wasn't being like either distracted or like thinking about I got to do this and that. Like I was about to like cook something.
Yeah.
And there was nobody here, so I was probably way more relaxed. And I think I was like in a much more calm state. Like, okay,
That's
now
true.
I'm just gonna cook now and like.
Yeah, because it's true that never happens.
Yeah, and think about that meditation too. The more deeper I got into meditation, which is slowing things way, way, way down.
Yeah.
It was like things could catch up to me in that moment.
Yep.
I love that shit.
Oh, me too.
So good.
Do you meditate every day?
Yeah, I do Vedic meditation, which
What's
is
that?
So have you heard of Transcendental Meditation?
Yeah. So there's actually a guy who I did a video call with who does it in Australia and has tons of clients doing it. And he's like, I would love to do like a Transcendental Meditation and teach everybody how to do that. So maybe we'll do that. It's super cool.
Oh, it is cool.
Yeah.
I have friends that teach Vedic meditation too.
But what is that?
Like,
So it's a form of
so
Transcendental?
it's like its cousin. It's
Okay.
just basically a different teacher had come to the West to like teach it, and it's twice a day with a mantra, 20 minutes. So you can sit comfortably. It's like the layman's type of meditation, the householder's meditation. So like you could just, as long as your shoulders and your head are free, like you can sit comfortably. So you don't have to be like all upright, and you repeat your mantra in your mind for 20 minutes. And then like at the beginning, it's like you're saying your mantra a lot, and then eventually like you're planting the seed. Your mantra is like a seed. So you're planting the seed, and you get even more calm, and you'll have thoughts, and then you'll realize you're having thoughts, and then you'll go back to the mantra, and then you just get like
You just like see the thoughts, let them
transcendent.
go, and then you come back to that.
Yeah, it's just like realizing you're having them, because
Yeah.
sometimes like you can have thoughts and you're in meditation, and so you're not even realizing like you're having the thoughts,
Yeah.
and that's okay in
Yes.
this meditation. But it's like once you realize you're having them, you remind yourself of your mantra, go back, and then you're like calming down again with your mantra.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
think-
twice a day for 20 minutes.
I think the thing with meditation, like we talk about it a lot. I think it's something that definitely changed my life. Just even regular guided meditation, where just sitting in silence. I do that sometimes too. Or I'll just lay on the biomat for like
Yeah.
10 minutes in silence.
Yeah.
And if I hear like a dog barking or I hear something happening, I just observe it happening. That's happening in this moment right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's something that a lot of people think like, oh, I don't meditate because I suck at it. Or I'm like, you don't
Yeah.
suck at it. You
Yeah.
just are.
There's
You're
no
just
wrong
doing
way.
it.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know.
That's like
And-
people who say, I can't do yoga, I'm not flexible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's the whole point of doing
That's
it.
why you
is
need
to-
to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of, I tell people like it's, because I'll tell you at least my experience. When I first meditated, I could meditate for like 10 minutes, but like I'd be thinking the whole time. And then all of a sudden, like 9 minutes in, I'm like, wow, I've been thinking the whole time and observing all these thoughts. And let me go back. I'm like, that's a really powerful moment in meditating, because you're like coming back to yourself in that moment and realizing these thoughts are going.
Yeah.
And being able to see too what happens in our head over and over
Yeah.
and over. I'm thinking this, I'm thinking that. And it's like, is that really true, or is that just happening?
Do you feel like it's like a snow globe? Like, so like at the beginning, like the snow globe, your mind is like,
Yeah, without a
it's
doubt.
like
Yeah.
scattered. And then like
That's a good
as you
way to
go,
put
it's
it.
just like, oh, everything
Yeah,
starts to like
slow
really
down.
settle down. And that's
Caesar came out
important.
here and he said that he goes, anybody who lives anywhere within like 100 miles of New York City needs to be in nature at least once a week and meditate every day.
Oh, that's good.
Because he's like, you guys are in an environment of speed and
Yeah.
fast and not even getting a chance to like, you're just
Yeah.
reacting nonstop. And
Yeah.
it was funny, like we took Christian to the city for the first time the other day
Oh,
when we did a
wow.
session. Yeah. And it was like, I was like, just so you know, this is like diet New York City right now.
Yeah.
We did
Yeah,
all
seriously.
this.
And it was still pretty busy.
Yeah, there's still shit going on. And he's like, wow, there's a lot of energy here. And I'm like,
Oh,
yeah.
totally.
I was like, this is like a tenth of what it normally is. It's like,
Yeah.
and we were telling him how it could be like 4 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning, and you go to like 7th Avenue, and there's like cars everywhere and people honking and walking. And, hey, watch out! You know, it's like,
Yeah.
but it's where we live. So even like for us living here, I think it's even more required. If you're around a big city, you know, like I think it's really important to.
I was just gonna say, because like when I came here, I felt like I had never been to New York City, obviously, but we have LA, obviously,
Yeah.
and it's still booming, and there's a
Yeah.
lot of people. He's from Ohio, so it's like pretty different
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
like culture shock, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of people, a lot of energy.
A lot of energy.
That's what I liked about moving to Hoboken, though. From like, I was living an hour north of the city, and I moved to Hoboken, and I'm like, I just feel alive. I feel like there's people, there's things. Like, this is so good.
Well, do you live down there now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're still there.
Yeah,
I feel like it's
there.
good to have the balance because I
Both
get
of
what
them
you're
live
saying.
there.
Like it just gives you
Yes.
a little bit of life.
These
Yes.
city slickers over
Yeah,
there.
city slickers. The girls.
Okay.
And now you at least have nature, but now you get to come to nature every day.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
exactly.
nice.
Now
Yeah.
it's like a balance of both.
That's perfect.
I'll tell you, one of my favorite things to do is take Nico off leash and just walk in the woods.
Yeah.
It's like,
You know-
by myself.
Another thing I wanted to throw out there, maybe Leah, if you wanted to join us here and lead like some kind of like meditation, anything
Yeah.
like with
I would
us,
love that. Yeah.
come once in a while to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, we
We
Right?
used to do that a lot more in Hoboken.
Yeah, just so you can come out here too and unwind
Yes.
yourself too.
And hang with you people. I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
you guys. You guys are the best.
Get
we,
into nature.
we used to do that way more in Hoboken, like do like, all right, you guys want to meditate real quick? And we just throw on
Right.
a guided meditation.
That's honestly
and whoever
why-
was working,
that's
we would
cool.
just stop for like 5-10 minutes and meditate. And like, all right, that was good. Let's
Yeah.
turn the lights down and all that.
That's why I brought it up because I want to get back to that, to doing
It's
that
power-
more.
Yeah, we have
Groups.
this place now. Like we were in Hoboken
know, we don't
in that
even do
freaking
it.
house, and we're like, all right, like I'll meditate here, and someone's like right there, and then
Yeah.
we can be all over this freaking house with the Sonos going, and like we need to
Yeah.
get
That's
Sonos. But yeah, we have that going on. Someone could be there, downstairs, over there. It's like we definitely need to do that.
That's a
And
really good
outside,
idea.
like you said too, would be
Right.
incredible to do. I want to set up like a meditative area
Mm-hmm.
to go.
Yeah.
You know, it would be really cool for you guys too to set like an intention for the business
Yeah.
together,
Yeah,
and then like it's like a
that's like almost like our mantra,
yes,
like you were saying.
Yes.
Like that's what we're doing.
yeah. Yeah, and then meditate together, and it's like that collective is like so much more
Yeah, we
than
have
just
to do
one
that.
person doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I would
The
love
world needs it. I mean, more than ever. Like this shit has become so much more clear to me about all this, like the mindset and through the dog. I just think like the dogs are just the one untapped resource that are like sitting right in front of us all the time. Just like it's almost like similar to me, like the hypnotherapy though. It's like it's sitting right in front of you. You're living it every single day, but you may not even realize it. You just can't see that this is like what's affecting your life. And the dog is telling you, hey, by the way, lady, you have a ton of anxiety.
Yeah.
Hey, you're really insecure. Hey, you're being really weak about this. And the dogs are telling us, and we're like, oh, there's something wrong with him. Or it's like that thing that happened in the past. Like, that's like for me, that's not a big deal. Who cares about that thing? Well, 95% of my brain thinks it's a big freaking thing.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal
Yep.
for people to go through. I recommend doing it and trying it. At least, even if it's something that you don't like, it's something that you at least got out of your comfort zone and tried. Something new.
Yeah, I mean, it's changed my life. It's
Without a doubt.
absolutely like it's like the direction of my life changed as soon as I like started working with my mind.
Yeah.
And that's like the Kundalini Yoga and the hypnosis.
Yeah.
And like it's
The
just
combination of
meditation.
things.
All
Yeah.
of these things, the
Yeah,
mind.
it's not just like one thing.
It's not.
It's a combination
Yeah.
for sure.
yeah.
It's all about like the internal versus the external, getting in alignment, balance, like all these things are
Forgiveness,
are
yeah.
literally forgiving. Oh my God, that's like a huge one. It's
yeah.
letting shit go, letting
Yeah.
that stuff go, that and realizing that stuff's not you. You know, like traumas aren't you. That's
Yeah.
events that happen that cause behavior. But
Yeah.
being able to like reconnect back to that, go through it, and then like you said, like create a new experience with that, or let it go. It's just really letting it out of your system. You know,
Yeah,
I
we're
mean, it still
unlimited.
happened, right? But
Yeah.
but I guess it's like a psychologically, it just changes inside the brain.
Yep.
Yeah, it's super
We're
fascinating.
all unlimited, and like everybody has the same opportunities.
Yeah.
It's like everybody has the same amount of time in the day. Everybody
Yeah.
has the same opportunities.
Yep.
And I thought which was interesting is like, I don't remember when it was, but like before the 4-minute mile, like everybody was running
Yeah.
like the 5-minute
Yeah.
mile, and everybody thought, okay, this is what it is. Like this 5-minute mile is where it's at. And then
Yeah.
this one guy runs the 4-minute mile, and it's like,
Yeah.
like it's like it
He
broke
the barrier.
It broke,
Right.
yeah. And now everybody,
Yeah,
like,
I love that one too. Tony Robbins talks about that all the time. He's just
Yeah.
like no one could do it. No one could, then all of a sudden the guy did like 3:59.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like within like a week, like people were breaking it
Right.
yeah,
right away after, because now it's the mind's been unlocked and it believes it's possible.
yes,
I mean, I talk about it with this place. Like this is a place that I had in my mind forever. Like I was like, oh yeah, we need to have a ranch. We're gonna have a ranch. We're gonna have a bunch of land. We'll have our own park. And it's like slowly, like it's just the time had to pass for it to actually happen.
yeah.
Right.
You can't make it happen in the moment, but you can, in the next scenes, you can
Yeah.
have
Right.
that happen.
I
And
think
it
people-
actually did happen faster than we thought because
Yeah.
the plan was for the ranch to be long term.
Yes.
We were supposed to do like
the Hoboken property.
Yep, the city first, and then expand to the ranch. And then all of a sudden, I remember one day we're like, what are we doing? Why can't we just?
Yeah, why am I
like,
gonna spend millions of dollars to build this little thing in the city? When
Like,
I
why
could,
can't we just
like,
get
spend
one
so
now?
much less money out of a ranch where we need to be anyway and have space.
Oh, amazing.
Because we
Just
thought
happen.
too, like we're gonna get 40 acres or
Yeah.
50 acres and have like a big place. And it's like, well, why can't we just start
Just
with 8?
do
After
it.
we got
Just
the
cut to
approvals in
chase.
Hoboken, I was starting to think that like, wait, Why don't we get a ranch?
Yeah.
You know, because this is going to be a long time for you.
Process.
To
It
build.
was going to take
Yeah.
like at least 2 years to build that thing.
Yeah.
What happened with that? Is that no more? Like you guys?
I don't know. That's kind of like one that I have the property being rented right now, so we're kind of just letting it. It's hard to tell. Like we're developing this place. It's like what's going to happen with the world.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen with cities. Like what is it going to be? So I'm kind of just leaving it as is right now.
Yeah, that's the way.
I'm gonna continue just that's one of my things too, is like focus for sure is like one that sometimes I struggle with. Like when I have like we're doing the podcast now, okay, I can focus on this right now. But when it comes to like should we do the adventure camp, or should we go more for board and train, or should we do more for consultations, or should we do more on the pod? Like coming up with those things, I'm like, I don't know, let's do this. So that's part of my mind that can be like,
Yeah.
I guess it's part of being the generator too, is I want to keep generating new shit nonstop.
Yep.
And like doing one thing, I'm like, all right, we started that. Now let's start.
Yeah.
Almost like the generator starts it, right, and just keeps it going. I guess.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. You're like an
How do you
energy producer.
Slow the generator down just a little bit.
Like throw shit like a wrench in there.
Poison him.
Exactly. Just put like a joint here or something. To sleep, So good. All right. Well,
Thank you for joining
Yeah, this
us.
was really
Thank you
good.
for
I hope
having
you guys
me.
enjoyed
I'm
it. Yeah.
So excited to be here with you guys.
So you can find Leah Crescenzo. What was it again? HeyLeahC.com.
Yep.
And you're doing video calls now.
Yep.
And
Virtual
doing 30
sessions.
day programs.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep. Yeah, thank you.
So if you guys have any questions about it, you can definitely message me, and you can message her, obviously, and see what's going on. I highly recommend it. It's been really great for, I'm sure you guys too. Yes?
for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's been great. Who else did it here?
Cassie's
There were
done it.
6
Cassie did
sessions.
it.
Oh, yeah.
Jay did it.
Jay did it.
So 8,
Dave did
8
it.
in
Dave
total.
did it. Christian. I think everybody did it.
Everybody that's here,
Yeah.
Christian did it.
except for
Daniela,
Devin.
too?
Devin
Yeah,
wants to do
she
it.
did.
By
Daniela
the
Oh,
way.
Devin's the only one.
And
who
Devin
did
hasn't done it.
Devin wants to though.
Devin's
Yeah.
going to be fired. No,
Yeah.
no, but
Devin, I
definitely
hope you're
recommend
watching
it.
this.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it. It's
And if you're not, you're
definitely a
fired.
life-changing thing for me, for sure. So, strongly recommend to get in touch with the subconscious.
Yeah.
Because if not, like that shit, I always talk about that stuff. If it's like something that's from your past or traumas and things like that, psychologically, it's like if, like physically, if we have a cut, we take care of it and
Yeah.
deal with
Right.
it right in that moment. But if you, like, if we're just no, I have no cut, and then all of a sudden it's like getting a little infected, and it's
Yeah.
like no, it's still not there, and then it's like consuming your arm, and like then it can literally take over your life and not make you literally suffer, in my opinion, because I was definitely suffering for sure. So
Same thing as your body. Like you're physically working on your body. You're lifting muscles, you're walking, you're exercising. You've got to exercise your mind,
Yeah.
which we're not taught that we've got to exercise our
Right.
minds.
yep, I agree. I mean,
so
this is
true.
like that. Have you heard anybody talk about that with the dogs by any chance, about exercising the mind? It's like it's all I talk about.
Yeah.
Is
Oh,
people
really?
are so
That's
focused.
what you meant all
Yeah,
this
now
time?
you understand.
Now I got it.
You have to do hypnotherapy to figure this out. But no, we talk about body, mind, heart, exercise, discipline, affection, because like everyone's like, I got to take my dog for a walk, and they just go think about physically draining the dog, but they're not challenging the mind in any way because the dog's not going into a follower state and being able to be like, I have to follow this human being. So it's they have to like think about it and process what they're doing and be challenged, do new things. Like with that guy Nico, it's like nonstop because of his breed too and who he is. It's nonstop having to challenge him, or he gets so bored.
Yeah.
So bored. So to me, it's like constantly going and figuring out ways to challenge. But the mind has to be exercised. I agree 100%. I talk about it, physical and mental exercise, physical, psychological exercise. I talk about it in so many posts.
Do you think that cats can fall under this category too, or is it
Of
just
what?
dogs?
Of being
Physical,
challenged.
mental, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, animals.
Yeah,
Animals,
little
for
animals.
sure. I did a post today about me. I'm holding a chicken with a chicken has to be fulfilled.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she was talking about how she trained the chickens that when she claps, come on ladies, and the chickens come
Oh, that's cool.
back to her and stuff like that. So Caesar exercises all of his animals.
I need to exercise my cats.
Yeah, but he doesn't exercise them just physically. It makes them do different things.
Yeah.
So it keeps the mind engaged and challenged and feels like they have purpose.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah. So body, mind, heart. That equals fulfillment to me. Awesome.
Good.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for
We'll have to do it
having me.
again.
Yes.
So check out Leah, HeyLeahC.com. And what was it on Instagram? HeyLeahC?
Yep.
Check her out. Highly recommended. All right, guys. Love you guys. Stay calm and confident, and we will see you guys soon. Later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye guys. Thanks.
It was really good.